I'm joined by DF Swap, and we are going to review the Inter Milan versus City game that happened at Istanbul. And winner from Rodri at 68th minute. And Swap, it was bound to happen at some time. We were just delaying the inevitable, I feel.
Of course. I personally thought like once Real Madrid got eliminated, and there was actually no chance for Inter Milan to get to the game because if you see the brackets, one was the bracket of death, one was the easiest bracket ever.
Yeah, but we expected Napoli to go through, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Napoli
Inter
to go
Milan
through.
was Napoli, and the second choice was AC Milan, and I feel Inter Milan did the unthinkable. I feel.
Of course, they did the unthinkable, and I think Inter Milan this season somehow has overachieved.
Yeah,
UCL fine,
absolutely.
it's overachievement for that team.
Yeah.
And given to what the performance we seen yesterday, it's like a disaster class. Straight up a disaster class. I would say it's
I
a
mean,
disaster.
Inter Milan was like they were good. I feel that Inzaghi, if you see, just outdid Pep in the tactical battle. But what they lacked and was a natural number nine. I feel Lautaro Martinez missed a few chances, and at the end, Lukaku, what did he do? I don't know. I mean, he just. I mean, the Demarco one. I feel that you can't do that. It's a
Yeah,
UCL final.
it's a UCL final. Plus, you see, given to that Lautaro Martinez situation where, if I'm not wrong, Ake missed the whole trajectory of the ball,
Yeah,
and Lautaro was free, totally free.
yeah,
Only he also had Lukaku in the option. Also, he
exactly.
was like guarded by Akanji, if I'm not wrong, either
Yeah.
Akanji or Ruben Diaz. And on the other hand, you have Brozovic running free at the edge of the box,
Mm,
and still you decided to go alone.
exactly.
That's the worst decision if a player could ever make as a striker in the UCL final.
Exactly. I mean,
It's a
if you see
shameful
the
performance.
it was not at all from like Inter Milan. It looked like that they didn't like deserve to go through to the final. I mean, they were
Yes,
absolutely they were like they should have won if you see the game. I feel what City did it was that they got the only chance in the game was that Rodri one, and they scored. I feel they didn't get too many clear cut chances. One Foden got a bit later, but he
but
couldn't
there was
finish.
also one of Haaland at the first, like the 23rd minute, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, but that was like a very much you don't
Not like
consider that
a,
was a first
yeah,
post chance to Onana, and it was like he was always going to save. But at the beginning, if you see Swap, let's start the review of the game. At the beginning, City were really like struggling defensively. Ederson was
yes,
a bit like nervous, and it was seen from the like they took the game very casually. I feel,
of course. And
and
I personally felt like I get it, Kyle Walker is injured, all right, but it doesn't mean he will leave out in the bench.
yeah,
You
absolutely. I
know,
feel that
if I was in place of Pep Guardiola today, although I shouldn't be, but I should have started Kyle Walker and maybe substituted him off after maybe 60, 65. Or
yeah,
maybe because Kyle Walker, the thing is like that side of the pitch will be totally blocked for the strikers. No
yeah.
wingers can generate any attack.
Exactly. I feel what like City would give the justification of not starting Walker is that they don't like Inter Milan don't have any pacey winger. So it's not that you started an attacking fullback. You started a more defensive one. You started
And
Akanji on
also,
the
if
right.
you see Denzel Dumfries is a overlapping
Yeah.
side back,
Uh,
and
uh,
he can make dangerous and lethal runs.
Even Demarco, they like
Of course,
Dumfries and Demarco were just class yesterday, and I feel midfield
yes.
let Inter Milan down a bit also. I feel except Barella, he started off the game really good, but then couldn't like he couldn't
It's
find
form
like the
like tipped
through
it.
balls. Yeah, exactly. Like there was no one to go for the through balls. Like Lautaro Martinez was not making the run. Then there was Dzeko, and then later on came in Lukaku. Two disaster class performances in the UCL final, and
Of
I don't know.
course. I also think like Lukaku is the unluckiest guy ever. You know,
I mean,
I have to
you
say,
can't say. Yeah, I feel yeah, absolutely. I mean, he
have to
doesn't miss
say,
the chances, or like he doesn't willingly miss the chances, right?
especially in the European finals. If you see, if I'm not wrong, in the Europa League final, he also managed to score a own goal.
Yeah, yeah, it was for United, I
No,
think.
not for United. It was
Inter
for
Milan.
Inter. Inter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Sevilla
remember
Bobek.
even in the last time in the World Cup what he did against Croatia. I mean, Thierry Henry. I remember him crying and I didn't like that because he's like a Chelsea legend, you know.
Still, like Lukaku, I guess his time is over.
I feel yes. I feel that there needs to be a 500 million bid from a Saudi club to us, and we would just think about selling him. He's not worth less than 500 million Saudi clubs. Let's just make that clear.
Yeah, but
I feel
yesterday,
what Inter Milan could have done better was the finishing because they were really good defensively. Also, if you see Onana, he was just so calm. I mean, I've never seen a goalkeeper as calm as Onana. He was so
yeah.
calm on the ball, and like you have Haaland in front of you, like pressing you, but he wasn't bothered. And at the end,
Also,
he in
I
between.
at the end of the day think maybe this 1-0 victory for City should be a major, like a very good point for Inter Milan because City, the lethal, like the I guess the best attack ever in whole world right now. Okay,
Yeah,
you consider only one
yeah,
coming
but
from a
I mean.
side which is not been performing at its best in the Serie A at well.
Absolutely agree. But the thing is, Inter Milan would be like disappointed that they couldn't score because they got plenty of chances in the whole game. Lautaro Martinez missed one or two. Lukaku at the end. I mean, there's two chances. One he blocked and one he missed. That Ederson one, and that one was. I feel for a second I thought Ruben Diaz just put it in his own net, but he was so calm there. And City, like if you see what they have done, like they were always going to win it sometime. Last year, like that 90 plus minute goals from Rodrigo completely changed the game. The year before that, they faced us in the finals of the UCL, and I, I, I. I was watching the game yesterday and I was just remembering the one we played against them 2 years back. If you see the
The
game,
good old days.
yeah, absolutely. I feel what the Thomas Tuchel did was that he completely outdid Pep in the final, and same Inzaghi did yesterday. But we got the only chance that game of Havertz, and we scored. And they Inter Milan didn't do that, and that's where they
Inter
finished.
Milan actually managed to create way more chances than that of City. But the
Exactly.
same problem again. I would say same problem as Chelsea.
Yeah,
If you
absolutely,
are not
absolutely,
offended, if you're not offended.
absolutely. I feel. I mean, what City did was like it was bound to happen at some point. I've always felt like that City is like if you spend 1 billion in transfers, you are bound to like when you have got KDB, you have got Haaland, you have got Ruben Dias, you have got Ederson, and you have got just completely like plenty of star powers. And
And
I mean,
above all, you've got Pep Guardiola.
exactly. I mean, you can't. I can't imagine a team where Julian Alvarez will be benched. He was benched literally, and he has been benched for the whole season, and it's just completely like they completed a treble, so your like United's history is in danger, right?
History is in danger, but again, I personally feel like records are meant to be broken. Straight up.
I,
You
I
call me
feel
like working for the rivals, I don't care. But records
no
are meant to be broken.
records were meant to be broken. I agree, but if you see City yesterday, they were like I know many people won't agree, but Inter Milan should have, I feel, won the game because they had better chances. They had plenty of chances created and completely they dominated the game. First half, it was completely Inter Milan, and they were just, it was such a boring game. It was like Inzaghi haram ball. I need to say that because he was completely, it was a terrorist ball. I've never seen such a boring UCL final in my entire life.
Okay, so let's keep aside everything. Now let's talk about that sweetest Rodrigo strike.
Yeah, I mean, it was again a defensive lapse from Inter. At first, I thought that DeMarco should have actually tackled Bernardo when he was going in. He didn't do, and that's the problem yesterday. That DeMarco had a defensive problem. Bernardo was completely like getting over him. If you see on the other side, where Grealish was there, Grealish was completely like manhandled by Dumfries. But on the other flank, it was not the same story. DeMarco didn't like go for the challenge. He was staying on his feet, and Bernardo played a nice 1-2 to get through, and then Bernardo that cutback was sweet. I feel, and Haaland also did a good thing that he didn't go for the attempt because they knew that he was like guarded. And Rodrigo, Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, this kind of a midfield. It's like I don't know. I never had this kind of a midfield in FIFA career
A
mode.
nightmare for like every teams, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel.
As Prem supporters, we know what City are.
Yeah, I mean, as a FA Cup finalist, also you know what Gundogan is. You
Yes,
know what Rodri. I mean, Rodri is the most underrated midfielder at this moment. I've said this multiple times. I feel Rodri is the most Rodri is the best defensive midfield ATM. Like what he does at City, he's like the complete control center of City. He and Kevin De Bruyne. That midfield, you see the attack they have. You have got Bernardo Silva, Grealish, Haaland, Alvarez. That's not the focus point. The focus point is the midfield that they have, and that's just completely like in big games. I remember last year against Aston Villa, Gundogan scored the winner. This year in the FA Cup final, Gundogan scored the winner. In the UCL final, Rodri scored the winner. So it's always the midfield bailing them out, and I feel, yeah, I mean, it's good that City won because I feel Pep Guardiola completed his legacy at City.
Yes. Now it comes like what will be the future of Pep because
I
he's
mean,
not
that's
going to
the
stay for.
thing.
He's
Exactly.
not going. It's like his job is done.
Yeah,
He's
I
got
feel
nothing more
now.
to achieve.
Exactly. Now I feel he needs to come to Chelsea and do the job over here.
So
uh,
Pochettino out now.
no, no, let him win the UCL. I mean, he also did a good job by qualifying for the finals, right? With Spurs.
Uh, that was like the most unexpected run ever.
Yeah, I mean, Lucas Moura. And that year also City was the unlucky one.
Yes,
Lucas Moura scored that goal, the hat trick against them. I
but
remember.
still, that year the most unlucky team was Ajax anyway.
Yeah, I mean that was not an unlucky team. They were like the overachievers, I would say. That
Yeah.
no one expected them. But if you see what City have been like, they have been consistent, but they don't get the end result. Just like what happened with Inter Milan yesterday, they didn't get the end result. They were consistent, and City were also consistent, but they didn't get the end result. Like for this whole year, I mean. So would you blame the Aguero curse because he left Argentina one, he left City one?
Also, he left Barcelona, won the La Liga.
Yeah, I mean, he's like complete curse.
You know, there are many curses. You don't
Yeah.
know.
Yesterday, Pep Guardiola broke two curses. One was the egg video curse, and one was the Croatian curse.
Yeah.
I mean, he was.
Hats off to Pep, hats off to the Man City team for such a wonderful performance of this whole season.
Yeah.
So,
Look,
okay, let's end this video with this question. Best team of this whole footballing season.
I feel, the UCL winners are like considered as the best footballing team. But even though I'm a Chelsea fan, I would still say that yes, City has achieved some like a lot of things. But if you see the best team, I like over expecting. Like no one expected this from a team that is Arsenal. I mean, finishing second in the Premier League, and
True.
like, I mean, even as a Chelsea fan, I feel that Chelsea needs to take some inspiration from Arsenal because it's like you have to because they were like meant to be competing for the top four, and you go for and they finish second. It's like obviously it's a big thing, but yeah, City is like the best team not only of this year but I feel of the whole decade. If you see last decade, I feel after 2012 or 13 that Aguero moment, City have been like completely ruthless. You
Yeah.
see in the last 5 seasons, four
You,
PL.
I personally think that the Aguero moment was the start of the Aguero curse.
I agree. I mean, yeah. I mean, they. If you see the City's success has been mainly because of the investments that they do. Sheikh
Yeah.
Mansour has been just completely onto the team. He invests money, and they always look for
Also, the
good players.
DOF and the
Yeah,
team.
I mean the DUF is good, but what they do is that they don't like buy like they don't build players. If you see the whole team of City, Ruben Dias was not like from a City academy, so there are not mainly academy players. If you see
Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Holland, Akanji, everyone are bought from like other clubs. So it's like they spend big bucks, and like if you spend 1 billion, you are sometimes bound to win the UCL, and they did. I mean, it's good for them. Congrats.
So, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to Discussing Football, follow our social medias, and we'll meet again in the next video.
Goodbye.